Hey guys, my name is Nogan and welcome to my Python series. In today's video guys, we are going to be focused on Python variables. We'll define a Python variable. We'll also create a few Python variables. We'll look at the type of also data type being stored in those variables. We'll also look at something that is very important when you declare Python variables, which is eventually the properties of those variables, the illegal and legal variables you can declare in Python by definition, of course. But before you continue, guys, if you haven't watched the previous videos, or you can card on top there for the first video of the Python series, we installed the IDE PyCharm, the one we're using right now, as you can see here. In the second video, we installed now the Python programming language packages, so we can use the language of Python now, the extensions, and also with the IDE as a collective system together. So guys, as you can see now on this window here, we have a main.py. Py is an extension of the Python file extension for each project file of Python. As you can see, the main.py. Now, before we declare a variable in Python, variables are containers for storing data values in Python. As you'll see, the moment we'll declare now here 3 variables, and we're going to initialize them also. So the first one will be a. So our variable initialized to, let's say 5. B initialized to, let's say Ronnie. C is initialized to 150.15. Awesome. Now, as you guys can see, we have 3 variables here. The variables, the names are A. We're initializing it by using the disassignment operator now to store this value 5 in this variable A. Also B here, we're using now the assignment operator also here. We get equal sign to give it now the initialization of the name Ronnie. See also for now this decimal number here of 150.15, as you can see. Now, when you're declaring a variable in Python, a variable is just like in terms of it's basically where you store information in memory on your computer. So in Python has no command for declaring a variable. It doesn't have. That's why you see we just have A, B, and C here, using now this equal sign to store some information now to those variables you can see here. And also, as you can see, we don't have a double quotation, like a quotation mark, a semicolon, I mean, at the back of the thingy, because Python's language is built on simplifying now the syntax of the language by definition. That's why you see we don't include any semicolons here as other languages here. So the syntax of Python is much more sufficient to use and to understand also, so you can't make mistakes. So let's say, for example, we want to get the type of this variable. And for this example, we want to see what has been stored in these variables of A, B, and C. What you can use now the built-in functions in Python. And the functions that you're going to be using is called print, just like the word print. Use now this brackets. Now in here, we're going to say A, because we want to see now what has been stored in A. Print again. B, and also print for the C variable also. So as you can see now, we have using a print function here to print some statement, which means we're printing out the declared or stored information of A, B, and also C here. So what you can do now here on top here, next to this main word here, there's 2 buttons there. The one is debug, the one is run. What you can do, you can first run, you can run your program if you're certain that there's no syntax error in your source code. Or what you can do, you can go to this button here. This button, or the symbol now signifies it's a bug, which means you have to debug it by definition. What you can do, you can click there now to debug your program, and in some case it can also show you now your output. Awesome. As you can see now, output window, guys, here in the console, we're seeing 5 Ronnie and also 150.15 displayed here. Awesome. So our program works on point. So after this, let's say, for example, want to now to also declare a few variables again, but now this time our variables will be eventually just declared like how someone wants to declare a few variables. let's just remove this. Let's say I'm going to see now my var initialize to Peter. Let me say again my var. Let me say 145. Let me say my var again 10. Let me say 125.25. Awesome. So guys, you can see now we have three variables again. Now we changed the names of variables. We have now my var is also variable, and also we store in that variable now the storage of Peter. My var underscore now is storing there 145, and my var 10 125.25. What is happening here right now? These variables that are here are now legal variables that you can declare now in Python. The properties of declaring variables in Python are the following. A variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. And also a variable name cannot start with a number. It cannot in Python. And the other point is that a variable name can only contain alphanumerical characters in underscores. What you're seeing right now in these variables here, these variables now are initially legal variables that you can declare in Python. The other ones we're going to be doing now, example will be, those ones will be now illegal variables that you can see that you cannot declare in Python when you're declaring variables. Awesome. Now let's print this and see like if our legal variables are on point. So use a print function again, my var, print function again, my underscore var, print function again, my var 10. Awesome. So right now let's run a program and see now if eventually our variables here are on point. Go to the run button on top here, you can run. So you can see an output. Awesome. As you can see now, we have three output statements here of our variables here of Peter, 145 and also 125.25. Awesome. Now let's declare now a few variables that someone maybe can make a mistake declaring them. Let's say for example, based on what I said about the statements now, they did now very essential for you to declare variables. Let's say for example, when you declare the variables, you don't know how to declare them with an understanding, of course, now, which means those will be illegal variables. The first one you can say, for example, is going to be 2 my var initialize to 10, my var, let's say again, let's say my var Peter. So guys, as you can see now, initially right now, the Python compiler is crying. It's in pain because right now what you can see, the variables being declared here, they don't eventually abide by the syntax of the Python language, because as you can see, the first variable by definition now has like a number in front of it, which means based on what I said before that when you're declaring a variable in Python, a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters in underscore, but you cannot declare like a number before the name of the variable. Because now what is happening is that the compiler now raises this variable here as a number being stored somewhere. Because remember, variables contain a memory location where now data is being stored in computer's memory. So which means if you declare a variable like this with the letter 2 in front here, what you say to the compiler is now you're storing now a number to a number in the computer, which is why there's like a error being written from the compiler, because now it doesn't abide by the syntax. Same applies to the second line of code, because you cannot use a dash sign as to link two words when you're declaring a variable. Also, same applies to this number 3 line of code here for my var. So guys, these two are called now illegal variables declarations in Python. So what you have to do, you have to declare variables that now really are sufficient to declaring variables. For example, let's say my var initialize to 110. This variable now in Python, like I mentioned, is a legal variable because because now by definition now this variable now is sufficient, because why? It is obeying the Python structure and also the syntax. That's why this variable now is being declared as a legal variable. It can be declared in Python by definition. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment down below, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thank you for your support guys. Enjoy your day.